Hey, what is up, you guys? Quentin Loves Trains and Horror Movies 2015, and today I am going to be reviewing Halloween, John Carpenter's 1978 film that ignited the slasher subgenre. Halloween was not the first slasher ever made, but it was the one that captured everyone's imagination. After producer Irwin Yablans came up with the movie's title and a simple premise involving babysitters, co-writer and producers John Carpenter and Deborah Hill set out to make horror history with a laughably small budget of only $320,000 provided by Yablans and the quote-unquote grandfather of Halloween, Mustafa Akkad. There are lots of reasons this movie went so far on so little, from the iconic haunting score composed by Carpenter himself to the suburban setting that made the audience feel as vulnerable as the victims they were watching, to the memorable performances by a 20-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis and the original Ernst Stavro Blofeld Donald Pleasance. But above all else, Halloween succeeded because of its blank-faced stalker, Michael Myers, also known as The Shape, played by filmmaker Nick Castle for a measly $25 a day. The man in the William Shatner mask terrified audiences and kicked off the horror genre's royal franchises. The next couple of months, I'll be reviewing all of the Halloweens available on home video, meaning 10 installments in 4 different timelines, but I'm not including the remakes. On October 14th, an 11th film will be released called Halloween Ends, which is still on the 4th timeline of the series, but we'll have to wait for it to be on Blu-ray in order for me to review it. Don't worry though, but even without that latest installment, we're in for a crazy ride. I'll guide you through the franchise as Sam Loomis becomes a shrieking madman, as Michael's origins becomes tied up in the occult, and all the times that the series tries to reinvent itself, whether that's a couple of hip millennial horror comedies, Laurie and Michael not being related, or a Irish toy maker selling deadly Halloween masks. But before we get into all that, we have to go back to Haddonfield, Illinois, and review the movie that started it all. Right away, even the opening credits are iconic, since they are backed up by that Halloween theme, and because when it zooms in on the pumpkin's eye and nose, it looks like Michael himself is holding a knife. Cool. After that, on Halloween night 1963 in the fictional town of Haddonfield, Illinois, 6-year-old Michael Myers inexplicably stabs his teenage sister Judith to death with a kitchen knife. For the next 15 years, he is incarcerated at Smith's Grove Sanitarium. On October 30th, 1978, Michael's psychiatrist Dr. Samuel Loomis and his colleague Marion Chambers arrive at the sanitarium to escort Michael to court for a hearing. Loomis hopes the outcomes of the hearing is that Michael will never be released from Smith's Grove. However, Michael steals their car and escapes Smith's Grove, killing a mechanic for his coveralls on the way back to Haddonfield. Upon returning home, Michael steals a white and expressionless mask from a hardware store. On Halloween, he sees high school student Laurie Strode drop off a key at the long abandoned miner's house that her father is trying to sell. Laurie notices Michael stalking her throughout the day, but her friends Annie Brackett and Linda Vanderclock dismiss her concerns. Loomis arrives in Haddonfield in search of Michael and finds Judith's tombstone missing from the local cemetery. He meets with Annie's father, Sheriff Lee Brackett, and investigates Michael's house. When Loomis tells Brackett that Michael is pure evil, Brackett is doubtful of the danger, but goes to patrol the streets while Loomis waits at the house for Michael to return. Laurie babysits Tommy Doyle while Annie babysits Lindsay Wallace across the street. Michael follows them, spying on Annie and killing the Wallace's dog. Tommy sees Michael from the windows and thinks he is the boogeyman, but Laurie does not believe him. Annie later takes Lindsay over to the Doyle house to spend the night so she can pick up her boyfriend Paul. When she gets into her car, Michael appears from the back seat, strangling her and slitting her throat. Soon after, Linda and her boyfriend Bob Sims arrive at the Wallace house and find it empty. After having sex, Bob goes downstairs to get a beer where Michael pins him to the wall with a kitchen knife. Michael then poses as Bob in a ghost costume and confronts Linda, who teases him to no effect. Annoyed, she calls Laurie to find out what happened to Annie. Michael proceeds to strangle Linda with the phone cord while Laurie listens to the other end, thinking it's a joke. Meanwhile, Loomis discovers the stolen car and begins searching the streets. Suspicious on the phone call, Laurie goes to the Wallace house across the street to find her friends' bodies as well as Judith's headstone in the upstairs bedroom. She flees She flees to the hallway in to the hallway ter- in terror, where Michael suddenly appears in the dark and slashes her arm, causing her to fall over the banister. Injured, she narrowly escapes, runs back to the Doyle house, but lost her keys to the front door when she fell on the staircase. Tommy lets her in, then she orders him and Lindsay to go hide. To find the phone is dead. Michael sneaks in through the window and attacks her again, but she incapacitates him by stabbing him in the neck with a knitting needle. Thinking he is dead, Lori staggers upstairs to check on the kids, but is shocked to see Michael alive. She tells the kids to hide in the bathroom while Lori hides in the bedroom closet, but Michael finds her and breaks in, so she stabs him in the eye with a coat hanger and in the chest with his own knife. She tells Tommy and Lindsay to go down to the street to a neighbor's house to call the police. After they leave, Michael awakens once again and slowly approaches an unsuspecting Lori. Loomis sees the kids running from the house and goes to investigate. Finding Michael and Lori fighting upstairs, Lori rips Michael's mask off. Finding him hesitate to put it back on, Loomis shoots Michael 6 times, knocking him off the balcony. Lori asks Loomis if Michael was the boogeyman, which Loomis confirms. Loomis walks to the balcony and looks down to see that Michael has vanished. Unsurprised, he stares off into the night as Lori begins to sob. Michael's breathing in is heard during a montage of locations where he had recently been, indicating he could be anywhere. That's it. Halloween came out in 1978, and also want to give a shout out to Christian Planet CHH, Nick the Lost River Drive-In, Justin Ryan 1988, Pizwell, Lee Drumdums, Barry Wolfman's Got Nards, Braden Timmons, Nick Putch's Horror Channel, Jake Blaster Productions, Bud in the Halloween Verse, Brandon I Like Scary, Dave McCrae, Jimmy Champagne, Zach Cece's Rolled, Mike and Jay, We Watched a Movie, James A. Janice, Dead Meat. Next week I'll be reviewing Halloween 2. Until next time, I'm Quentin Loves Trains and Horror Movies 2015. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below on what you think. Follow me on Instagram and support me on Patreon. Thanks, be good people.